Okay. So in the last session, we have discussed about the user management. And we have discussed how can we add the new users inside the organization and how can we modify the user details in future and how can we prevent the user from logging into the Salesforce application with the help of deactivation and the freeze features, and how can we grant the account login access of a user to the Salesforce administrator or the Salesforce.com support people to get the help regarding the troubleshooting issues. And whenever the user is switching from one user to another user, always it is going to be enforcing the user to re-log in into the application. Then how can we prevent the user upon forcing from the re-login? We have discussed these features as well. Okay. Now let's see the remaining features of user management, and we will continue with the next feature, role hierarchy. Okay. Now, so next one, we are having an option called as login history. Login history. So what exactly the login history? What is the use? How can we track which users has been logged into my application, on what date, on what time, by using which system, what is the IP address, from which country, and from which browser, from which operating system they have logged in, we can able to track this information. Okay. So now as an administrator, it is our responsibility that we need to keep on track. Okay, we need to keep on track. So who are all the various people are accessing our application? Who are all the various users are accessing our applications? We need to track that. We need to identify. Might be our users might have shared their credential to some other people also, so that other people might be logging into our application with one of our user credentials. Or somebody has stolen one of our users' credentials. With that credentials, okay, they might be logging into our application from a different place, and then they're doing some malfunctioning inside my application. Whether they're removing some records, modifying the records or not, everything I would like to track. That means what? I would like to appoint a CC camera on my Salesforce instance. Who are all the various people are going to be entering into my application? Who are the various users are logging into my application? So now how they are logging into my application? By using the Salesforce application or by using some third-party tools or through integration, how they are logging into my applications? And when they have logged in, on what date, on what time they have logged in? And what is the username through which they have logged into my application? From which system they have logged into my application? Like what is the IP address of that system? In that system, what browser they are using? And what operating system they have? Whether that login is successful or not. Everything I would like to track that. So for that reason here, we are going to be using a feature called as login history. With the help of this login history, we can able to track the whole information about the various users who has logged into my application over here. Okay, since the last 18 months, who are all the various users has logged into my application, and then what are the various usernames they have used, and what systems they have used, their system IP addresses, their browsers information, operating system information, whether that login is successful or failed, whether they have entered wrong password or not, everything we can able to track with the help of this login history feature over here. Okay, that flexibility is available to you. Now, so in this case here, why they are going to be giving this kind of information? Okay, now let me explain. First of all, we'll see, so now where exactly this option is available, how can we track? In order to track this login history, okay, now we are using a navigation called as, go to the setup menu, go to the administrator menu in the left panel, go to the manage users and expand it. Click on login history. By using this login history feature, we can able to track the history of the users who has logged into my application in the past. Okay, when the user has logged in, and then by using which credentials they have logged in, everything we can able to track with the help of this login history feature. Okay. Now, let's see here. How can we verify this information? Let's go to your Salesforce instance. Go to the administrator menu in the left panel. Click on manage users and expand it. Inside this, you will be having an option called as login history. Okay. Click on this login history in order to see who are the various users has been logged into your application in the past. Now, let's click on this login history. We can able to verify that here. Okay, we can able to verify this information. So now these are the various people has logged in over here as of now. So now this is the username through which the user has logged in. On so-and-so date, on so-and-so time, the user has logged in. And then this is the IP address of the system from which he has logged into my Salesforce instance. This is the country to which he is associated. That means from this country, they have logged into my application over here. They have logged into my application by using the Salesforce application, that is login.salesforce.com. And then the login credentials are success. Okay. Login credentials are success. That means whatever the username and the password they have entered, that is success, nothing but that is a valid credentials. And this is the browser they have used to log in into the application. This is the operating system they have installed into their system over here. And then everything will be tracking by Salesforce over here. The whole information is tracking by Salesforce. Okay. Now let me try to log in into my development user account from outside here, nothing but from a different browser here with invalid credentials. Observe what will happen in this case. I'm using that Firefox browser now again. I'm trying to log in into the Salesforce account with the development credentials, the development user credentials. I'm entering wrong password here. Okay, I'm entering wrong password. Click on login. Now it is indicating that please check your username and the password. That means whatever the username or password which I have entered, okay, these are invalid. Okay, now let's go to your Salesforce administrator's account. Refresh this user interface. See. So now a user has tried to log in into the application with these credentials here. From this system, this is the date and time on which he is trying to be logging into the application, and then his credentials are invalid. He has entered the wrong password over here. Everything will be tracking by Salesforce internally here. Okay. Now, so now I'm trying to be entering the correct password here. So now here I have entered the correct password. I need to enter that verification code also. So now let me enter the verification code. Now, so I have logged into the development user account here. Okay. Now, so let's go to your Salesforce instance, refresh this user interface, then you can able to, okay, track this whole information. So in this case here, initially I have tried with the wrong password here. Second time also I have entered that wrong password. Third time here I am unable to log in into that because here I have entered that wrong, the security code, nothing but OTP. And then after that, I have logged into my application successfully by entering the correct OTP here. Each and every information will be tracking by Salesforce here. Okay, so that whenever you are logging into the application, the whole information is tracking by Salesforce. Okay, now in this case here, then why this information is most important for the developers or the administrators? Okay, now let's see. Let me explain a scenario. For example, assume that I am working in an organization in Hyderabad. So I'm working in some TCS, okay, as a Salesforce developer. So I learned some course, Salesforce course recently. Okay, I'm done with some practice, and then I've gone through the whole information of each and every feature. I've given the interview with TCS, and I got a job in Salesforce. I got a job in TCS and Salesforce as a Salesforce developer. So now 1 week back, I have joined into the organization. From there onwards, keep on they're assigning some tasks to me. Every day, I'm completing those tasks on time. By end of the day, I'm delivering those deliverables. Today, my manager has assigned some task to me. It's a bit typical task. Okay, it's a bit difficult task. I don't know what exactly that functionality here. So they have assigned some task to me. I have started working on that task. And then once I'm done with the 10% of the completion, then after that I have stuck up somewhere else. I'm not getting any idea how to go ahead, how to implement that. I tried in the Google, but no luck. I did not get the solution. I have contacted my colleagues, but those people are busy with their requirements here. They're having some other deliverables, so they're unable to help me out. So in this case, I have contacted a proxy person. Okay, I have contacted a proxy person. That means there is another person is there who is working somewhere, Bangalore, Chennai, Pune, Mumbai, somewhere. Okay, that person is one of my friend's friend. Okay, I got that person name through one of my friends here. Now I have explained to him, boss, this is my requirement here. Okay, I need to deliver this requirement by tomorrow evening. Okay, this is a very urgent requirement for us. But I'm not getting any idea. I don't have any experience on this feature. So will you able to help me out or not? The person is ready to help me out on that. He's ready to implement that feature because he's having some experience on that functionality. So he's ready to help me on that here. Now he's charging some amount. Okay, boss, I'm ready to implement that functionality for you, but I need some 5,000 rupees for that. Okay. Now, in this case here, as a Salesforce developer, I said that, boss, I'm ready to pay 5,000 rupees to you. So please implement that. In order to implement that, okay, he has to log in into my application, right? Then at that time, I have shared my credential to that person here, proxy person. I have paid that 5,000 rupees. I have shared that credentials over here to the person. Now the person is logging into the application, okay, from his system, okay, with my credentials over here. That person's system IP address is different, right? My system's IP address is different. Today, I'm in office over here at 10 o'clock. So now 11 o'clock, that person has logged into my application with my credentials from his system over here. Two people has logged in with the same credentials over there. Now in this case here, at the end of the day, you will be getting one mail from your administrator. Boss, you have shared your credential to somebody else. Okay, now some other people is going to be helping out you. Because username is same. Okay, username is same. And the day is also today itself. Time is different. Okay, time is different. System IP addresses are different over here. At the same time, you have logged into the application in my company also. At the same time, with your credentials, somebody has logged in from other place also over here. How it is possible? A person cannot be present in two places at the same time. Okay? Your administrator will track this information. They will send an email notification to you like you haven't worked on this feature. Somebody has implemented the feature for you. Okay? Because of that, you will be losing your opportunity also. You will be losing your job also. Okay? So in this case here, okay, please make sure that whenever you are getting this kind of requirement, whenever you are facing this kind of situation, don't share your credential to any other person over here. Okay? If you want the help of that, any of the proxy person, ask him to implement in the night. Okay, ask him to implement in the night over here. So once you are leaving from the office here, then share your credentials to that person. So in the night, he can able to log in. Suppose tomorrow morning, if a manager asks you, okay, so now who has logged in with this application? Who is this system's iPad? Then you can say, it's my personal PC from my home. I have logged in because I need to work on this feature by tomorrow, so that here I have logged into the application in the night, okay, after completion of my dinner, I have logged into that and have worked on the feature here. We can say that. Okay. So now here in this case here, these are the common mistakes generally the people will do. Okay, because sometimes your manager will assign a task to you in the morning. Okay, he will be giving that information. I want the deliverable by today evening itself. At that time, in that hurry, the people will share the credentials. But your administrator will track all this information because everything will be getting visible to inside this particular list over here. Okay, they will track. Username is same. Okay, time is different here. IP addresses are different. How it is possible here? Okay, it's a malfunctioning. That means some other people, another is the person over here. He's not part of our organization. He's not part of our project, but some another is the people are logging into my application over here. At that time, your administrator will track that information over here, and then he is going to be informing to your project manager. So now you are not working on the actual requirement. Some other proxy people are working on your requirement. Because of that, you will be losing the opportunities. Okay, don't share your credentials to any other people over here. Okay, clear? These are some common mistakes generally the people will do here. Okay. Now, so now in this case, okay, now in this case, to avoid this kind of malfunctioning here, Salesforce is going to be providing the functionality. Now in this case, if you are sharing your credentials to any of the proxy people, they will log in into your application from the outside. Then at that time, what the system administrator will do is, they will be restricting the application that can be accessible within your company itself here. Outside of the company, we can't access here. Even though if you're sharing your credential to your proxy person, when you try to log in into the application from outside, he can't log in here. Because your application will be getting restricted in such a way, your application will be getting accessible within your company network itself, not from outside of your network here. Okay? That possibility is also available over here. Clear? Now. So in this case, this kind of situation will be getting worked out. For whom? For the US people and Indian people here. Okay, because in US, the people are learning that Salesforce course. Okay, that too within 1.5 months they will complete the whole complete course. Okay, what is what they will learn that here. Because interviews are very liberal. Okay, but here only they will be taking the interview for 1 hour, 1.5 or 2 hours also. Okay, so this is the situation here. In this case, when coming to the US people, they will be putting some minimum 7 to 8 years of experience on Salesforce, complete experience. Even though he went to US recently also, he will putting some 8 years experience here. Because if they did not put some minimum 6 years experience, they won't get any call. But here for 3 years experience only, we will be getting some 10 calls in 1 hour. Okay. But for those people, they have to put some minimum 6 years. Okay. But they are unable to perform well. They are unable to meet their expectations. At that time, they are going to be contacting the proxy people in India. So now whatever the requirements they got, they will be sharing the requirement to the Indian people over here. These people will develop here. So now our dialects will be completely different. Okay, their daytime is our night time. Okay, our daytime is their night time over here. So during the daytime, they will be working on that. Okay, during that time, we will be in the sleeping mode. So now, when they're in the office here, they will be sharing the requirement here, and then we can able to implement that functionality. Okay, that possibility will be there. But for the Indian to Indian, okay, the situation will not the match. That is a problem. So don't share your credentials to anybody else. Even though if you need any help, then contact the people, get some information, try to implement that here. But don't share the credentials. Okay? Now. In this case here, because here each and every option will be tracking by Salesforce. That's what. Okay? Now. Clear? In order to track this user's information who has logged into your application, we are going to be using this login history login history feature here. Okay? Now, the next one. The next one is the audit setup trials. Audit setup trials. So what exactly the audit setup trials here? What is the use? Audit setup trials. So in the last session, we have discussed about a feature called as grant account login access. That means what? As a end user or as a developer, if I'm facing any issue inside the application, which is a showstopper to me inside my application, which is preventing me to go ahead inside that application. At that time, to get the troubleshooting issues help, okay, we can able to grant our account login access to our administrator or Salesforce.com support people here. Suppose, for example, yesterday I faced a very big issue inside my application. I did not get any solution to resolve that problem, so I took the help of my administrator. My administrator is sitting in Bangalore. I am from Hyderabad location. So I have granted my account login access to my administrator, okay, by using that grant account login access feature. So that person will be getting that login option, okay, in that users menu. So now he click on that login option, he has logged into my application, he has performed that operation, he modified the code, he has resolved the problem over here. Okay, the problem has been resolved. Today I'm in office, so whatever the requirement my manager has given to me, I have completed the requirements here. Tomorrow I will be in vacation. Okay, tomorrow I will be in vacation. I'm in leave tomorrow. So in this case here, tomorrow, if the Salesforce administrator person has logged into my application with that login option, if he did any malfunctioning, then how can we track? How do we know? If I'm in absence, if I'm not present, if I'm in vacation, during the time, okay, during the time when I'm absent, when I'm in the vacation, at that time, if the administrator has been logged into my application, if you're performing some operation, how can we track when the administrator has logged into my application, when he has logged out from my application? Here, how can we track? For that reason, Salesforce has given an option called as audit setup trials. With the help of this audit setup trials, we can able to track when your Salesforce administrator has logged into your account, okay, by using that login option. By using that login link, when he has logged in, when he has logged out. Everything we can able to track that information here. For that reason, Salesforce is providing that audit setup trials. Now this login history for all the users. And this option is only for the login option. Through login option, if your administrator or the Salesforce support person has logged into your application, then when they have logged in, okay, when they have logged out, everything we can able to track with the help of this audit setup trials. Then where is this option is available? Now let me show you practically in this case. In order to track this audit setup trials, go to that setup menu, go to the administrator menu in the left panel, go to the security controls, and go to that view setup audit trials. Okay. Go to the administrator menu, go to the security controls, and then click on the option view setup audit trials. With the help of this option, we can able to track when your Salesforce administrator or the Salesforce.com people, support people has logged into your application by using that login link. Okay. Now, let's verify here. So let's go to that security controls. You will be having an option called as view setup audit trials. There is an option is available to you. Okay, view setup audit trials. Click on this link here. We can able to track this information. Okay, we can track this information over here. Now it is indicating that. Now it is indicating that here. The whole information we can able to track. In the previous session here. Now user manager. So now into this particular user, okay, the user has logged in on so-and-so date and so-and-so time here. So now here they have logged in here by using that login as access for user customer. For the customer user, they have logged into that application over here. Who has logged into that? This is a user has logged in. How he has logged in? By using that login as. That means what here? Login link. With the help of this login link from the manage users, when you go to the manage users, you will be having the users option. Beside that user, you will be having that login option is available. By using that login option, he has logged into that customer user's account over here. It is indicating that logged in. when he has logged out from this user account, logged out on this particular date, on this particular time over here. Okay. So it is indicating that 11:53:45 p.m. and 11:53:52 p.m. here. Okay. So now this is the time they have logged in, this is the time they have logged out. After that, here they have logged into the development user account over here. Who has logged in? Training batch user. That means my administrator. Administrator has logged into the development user account. When? On so and so date and so and so time. When he has logged out on so and so date and so and so time over here. And he has logged into that manager user account also. Here is the logged in time, date and time, and here is the logged out date and time over here. He has logged into the testing user also. On so and so date and so and so time, he has logged out from that user account on so and so date and so and so time. The whole information will be tracking by Salesforce over here. By using that login option, whenever if you are logging into that any user's account, as an administrator or as a Salesforce.com support personals also. So whenever you are logging into that application, Salesforce will be tracking this information. Not only the other users login credentials, it is tracking that administrator's operations also to be tracking by Salesforce. Okay. So for that reason here, whenever you are granting that account login access to that user, from there onwards, how many times the user has logged in, and then when they have logged in, when they have logged out, everything that we can able to track this information also with the help of the view setup audit trials option. Okay. The next one. The last feature is expire all users' passwords. Expire all users' password. Now, then what is this option basically? Here what we can do? Generally, a user's password will be expiring when? 90 days. Okay. The same password we can able to use for the 90 days. Once the 90 days are over, Salesforce will enforce you to change your password here. That means for every 90 days, your password has to be get changed. Okay, if you did not change, then when you click on login button, Salesforce will be logging into the application. It will be giving the next screen has changed password here. Without changing the password for every 90 days, Salesforce won't allow you to log in into the application from there onwards. Now, in some cases, I would like to make all the users' passwords has to be get expired in one shot. Assume that I'm having some 1,000 users are there. Our application is a banking system. Okay, our application is a banking system, which is having some confidential information, some secured information is there. Because banking data is very, very sensitive, very, very confidential. So today early morning at 2 o'clock, a hacker person tried to hack our network. Okay, today morning at 2 o'clock, a hacker person tried to hack our network. Might be he got that one of our user credentials. With that user credentials, he tried to hack our network over here. So now as an administrator, I have identified that a hacker person is trying to be hacking our banking network. He is trying to be misutilizing our banking data here. So as a security policy, what I want to do is, might be that hacker person might have hacked already any one of our users' username and the password here. Because of that username and the password, he is trying to be hacking the other users' credentials also. For that one, what I want to do is, as a best policy, as a best practice inside our banking network, what I want to do is, today, I want to make every user's password has to be get changed. That means it has to be get expired. So that when the user tries to log in into the application today, they have to change the password first here. So that new password doesn't known by that hacker person over here. So for that one, what we need to do, I need to make each and every user's password has to be get expired today here. How can we do this one here? How can we do this operation? So now in this case, generally, if any of the user's password has been getting expired, we are resetting that user password link. But I don't want to do that here manually. I'm having some 1,000 users are there. I may be having some 1 million users may be available inside my organization. I want to make everybody's password has to be get expired in one shot over here. Now, in this case here, in order to make every user's password has to be get expired in one shot, just you can able to go to that security controls. Inside the security controls, you are having an option called as expire all passwords. Okay, expire all passwords here. Once you click on this expire all password, it is asking for the confirmation over here. Okay, now it is expiring for that all passwords over here. In this case, it is indicating clearly, select expire all users password and then click save to expire the password for all the users within your organization. And then when the user is trying to be logging into the application, they have to change the password first. It will be redirecting the user to the change password screen. There the user has to enter the confirm password and the new password and the confirm password again over here. Then only they can able to log in into the application. So in this case, if you want to protect the data from our unauthorized people, if you want to prevent our network from the hackers, because of a security breach, I would like to make every user's password has to be get expired in one shot. For that one, I'm going to be using this feature, expire all passwords. Just to select the checkbox, expire all passwords. Once you click on save, automatically every user's password will be getting expired in one shot. Then when the user is trying to be logging into the application, it will be redirecting the user to the change new password screen. There the user has to enter the new password and the confirm password and to change the password again here. Once the password has been getting resetted, then only they can able to enter into the application. For that reason, to make every user's password has to be get expired in one shot, we are going to be using this expire all users' passwords. Okay? Clear? Now. Yes. For every user. Even though that person may be a system administrator also here. Okay? Clear? Now. In this case, we have to go to that navigation, go to the setup menu, go to the administrator menu, security controls, and go to that expire all passwords. Okay, expire all passwords. Sometimes in the entry point of view, they will raise a question here. When coming to the login history, how frequent, nothing but how old data this particular Salesforce will store. Salesforce is going to be storing the login history of the last 6 months data here. Okay. Now, Salesforce stores the last 6 months. Last 6 months login history. All the users. All the users. For every edition, these features are same, no change. You may be using any edition, unlimited edition, enterprise edition, it may be your developer edition. For every edition, these options are same, no change. Before 6 months data if you want. In this case, your Salesforce is giving the downloading option here. So as an administrator, it is our responsibility that every month or every quarter or for every 6 months, we have to download the last 6 months, the login history information. Like when you go to that login history, now it is indicating this information. Download the last 6 months login history information or filter and show up to 20,000 records over here for the last 6 months. So now here in this case, if you want to download that, the last month or last 6 months, whatever, so we can verify that. So now select that in which file you would like to store this information. In terms of a CSV file, you want to download the data in the zip file format. Like as a zip file format, you would like to download the data. If I'm indicating CSV file, then it is indicating that here. Now we can able to specify. So all logins information, that means through integrations also, through by using third-party systems also, by using my Salesforce application also, anyway we are using to log in into the application, all the logins information I would like to download. So now you will be having an option called as download now button. So now it is our one of the administrator's responsibility here. Okay, we need to download here because last 6 months data is available. Okay, so now whenever the month has been changed, one more month the data will be getting gone over here. For that one, the whole data I would like to store in my local system as well. For that reason here, it is one of the administrator's responsibility that they need to download that last 6 months login history information also. Okay, clear? Now, so once you click on this, download now, it will be downloading that information in terms of a CSV file here. That information we can able to see in terms of a CSV file. The whole information we can able to track. Okay, the whole information we can able to track over here. So this is the username, this is the login time, IP address, login type, how they have logged in, whether that username and the password is valid or not, which browser they are using, platform, that means operating system, how they have logged in through the browser or by using the tool, whatever, the whole information we can able to track over here. Everything will be available here. So now from which country they have logged in, from which state they have logged in, from which city they have logged in, what is that postal code, latitude of your location, longitude, everything will be tracking by Salesforce internally here. Okay, the whole information will be tracking by Salesforce. That possibility is available over here. That's what here, please be careful about this sharing your credentials to other people. Okay, now, because to save our job, okay, the people are sharing simply their credentials to other people, to other proxy people here, but don't do that here. Okay, because administrator people are keep on concentrating this kind of information here always, because this is one of that admin's job. Okay, they will keep track all this information. They will make an eye on this one over here. Okay, now, for that reason here, we can able to keep on tracking this information, login history information. Okay, the last 6 months login history we can able to track. Okay, clear? Now, so these are the various features are available as part of your user management. Okay, now, generally nobody will discuss all these things. Simply they will discuss how to create the user, how to deactivate the user, that's it. But when you go to that organization here, so if you are getting a job like a system admin, then this is your responsibility. We have to perform all these things. Okay, if you're putting some support project here, or if you're putting some experience in any of the project, like I have worked on Salesforce administration, then at that time they will raise a question, what is your daily activities as part of your admin in your current project? Then you can explain all these things here. This is my responsibilities here. Because we are doing the user management here, we are going to be adding the users, and some users password we are resetting over here, deactivating some users, and we are tracking that login history. Keep on, we are going to be maintaining the last 6 months history of that users login, everything. The whole information, these are our responsibilities here. We need to explain some of the responsibilities. Okay? Clear? Now. So with this one, we are done with that user management feature here. Okay, now let's see the role hierarchy concept. So what exactly the role hierarchy, what is the use, and how to configure or how to set up the role hierarchy inside my organization, and how to assign the roles to the users. What is the benefit or what is the significance of assigning the roles to the users? If you are assigning some roles to the users, then what will happen internally? We'll see practically this concept here. Okay, now. Let's see the role hierarchy. Okay, role hierarchy. For example, I have an organization like some TCS. In TCS, they're having more than 2 lakhs employees working. Okay, they're having more than 2 lakhs employees are there who are working in the various departments, various locations in various countries for different projects. The people are having some different technical skills. They're having some different years of experiences also. And depends upon the years of experience, they are going to be assigning a role. That means a designation or a title, whatever. So when coming to the TCS organization, they're having some roles. That means some designations are available here. Like they will be having a designation called as CEO. Below that CEO, they will be having some CTO, Chief Technology Officer. And along with that, they will be having the role, some CFO, and along with the Chief Financial Officer. And along with that, they will be having some role like the COO, Chief Operating Officer. And below the CTO, they may be having some other roles. They may be having some other roles like Senior Vice President. Below that Senior Vice President, they will be having the Vice President. Below this Vice President, they will be having the Managing Director. Below this Managing Director, they will be having the Business Unit Head, BU Head. Below this Business Unit Head, they will be having the Program Managers. Program Managers. Below these Program Managers, they will be having the Project Manager. Project Managers. Below this Project Manager, they will be having the Technical Leads. Below these Technical Leads, they will be having the Module Lead. Below this Module Leads, they will be having the Senior Software Engineer, Software Engineers, Associated Software Engineers, like that here. That means what? When coming to the organization, they will be having the various designations, various roles, okay, various titles. So now depends upon the company, these designations are keep on changing. Like in one company, they're having the Associated Software Engineer, Senior Software Engineer, Project Lead, Technical Lead, Project Manager, like that here. When you go to some different companies, they will be having the designation completely different. Like Associated Consultant, Consultant, Senior Consultant, Principal Consultant, Project Manager, and the Program Manager. Like that, they will be having some different designations are available. Organization to organization, company to company, these designations are completely different. There is no such rules in the IT industry that every company has to follow the same hierarchy of that roles and designations here. Depends upon the company, they will be having some different hierarchy. They will be having different roles. They will be having some different designations. They will be having some different responsibilities for each and every designation over here. Okay? Now, like the similar way, when you go to a sales team here, they will be having a sales head. Below that sales head, they will be having some sales managers. Below that sales managers, they will be having that sales representatives. Okay, sales representatives. That means what? They're having the various designation people are available over here. Now these designations are also called as roles in Salesforce. Okay, these designations are also called as roles in Salesforce. Now, so this is CEO is a role, CTO is a role, CFO, one more role, COO, another role. That means what? Each and every role will be having its own responsibilities over here. For CEO, a different responsibility. As a technical lead, they will be having different responsibility. As a program manager, they are having some different responsibility. As a senior software engineer, they are having some different responsibilities. Like that, each and every role is going to be providing some set of responsibilities over here. Okay, like the similar way, as a sales representative, keep on, we need to contact with that lead people over here. And then that information we need to update to our reporting manager, that is sales manager here. So in this case, what will happen when coming to these designations over here? These designations are also called as roles. These are all are the roles available when coming to a Salesforce instance. We can configure these roles depends upon your company. Because company to company, organization to organization, these roles will be completely different. These are not same. So now in this case here, what this role indicates over here. Now for example, in this case, so CEO is the role over here. Below that CEO, we are having three people are there here. CTO, CFO, COO. These three people are directly reporting to the CEO here. Okay. Now in this case here, this is a superior and these are the subordinate people over here. Okay. So this is the superior and these are the subordinate over here. Now all these three people are reporting to the CEO itself. But these three people are directly reporting to the CEO. So that here, these people are called as siblings. Okay, these are called as siblings. Okay. For CEO, CTO is a subordinate over here. For CEO, CFO is a subordinate. For CEO, COO is a subordinate here. But these three people are the siblings, nothing but they are in the same hierarchy over here. They are in the same hierarchy. They are directly reporting to that CEO. They are in the same hierarchy. Okay, that means they're in the same generation, simply one can say. Like for example here, we are having some 4 people are available in my family here. Okay, father and the mother, and we have 2 sons are available here. So now both the people, nothing but both the sons are in the same generation. Okay, these 2 people are the childs of that parent and the same parents over here. So that these 2 people will be the siblings, nothing but brothers and sisters, or both are brothers, or both maybe sisters also, whatever, both are siblings here. Now for this particular child, okay, after a few years, if one more child is available, then in this case here, what will happen is a grandchild will be available to you. Okay, for the parent, they will be having the grandchild. Already they are having a child. For that child, they are having one more child is available. That is called as a grandchild. Okay. So now at that generation, they may be having some different people here. Like the similar way here also, when coming to that CEO, they will be having the 3 subordinates are available over here. So these are the 3 people who are directly reporting to the CEO, so that these 3 people are called as siblings. Okay, these are called as siblings over here because those people are available in the same hierarchy. Okay, now, so in this case over here, okay, now here in this case, what we can do? Now tell me in this case here. When coming to the CEO role or CTO or any role here, now tell me this role to be get assigned to how many members over here? Project manager role should be assigned to only one member or multiple members? Multiple members also, because my company is a very big company. We are having so many project managers are available here. So at that time we have recruited 4 people who are having more than 14 years experience. All the people are going to be leading some projects. So these people should be having the project manager designation here. For the same role, I'm assigning to the multiple people over here. So in this case, what happened? Your role can be get assigned to the multiple users also. Like as a designation, your role can be get assigned to the multiple users also. That possibility is available. But for one user, how many roles you can assign? Only one. A user should be always in that only one role over here. Like as he may be software engineer or senior software engineer or a technical lead or a project manager or it may be architect, whatever anything, a person should be only in one role over here. That means user to role, one-to-one association. Role to user, one-to-many association, because the same role can be get assigned to that multiple users also. That means here designations are nothing but the roles. Employees are nothing but the users here. Okay, so that the same role can be get assigned to the multiple employees also. So that means what? The same role can be get assigned to the multiple users also. So that roles to users we are having one-to-many association, but user to role we are having one-to-one association is available. Then in this case, what is the benefit of role hierarchy over here? What is the benefit of role hierarchy? Now, for example, come to a general scenario. Assume that I'm having a sales manager. Okay. So now she is my sales manager here. I'm a sales representative. Today morning, she has assigned some 10 lead records to me to contact this lead record, to follow up with the lead, convert the leads as my customers here. So I have started working on those leads. Today, I have contacted some 7 lead records here. all the 7 lead records I have converted as the customers. So now, by converting these 7 lead records, it is almost some evening, some 6:30 time. So remaining three lead records, what we can do? I need to work on the remaining 3 lead records in tomorrow. But by end of the day, what I need to do, I need to send an email notification to my sales manager. So dear manager, today you have assigned some 10 lead records to me to follow up with the people and to give the required information. By selling out the product, please convert the lead as our customers here. You have given some 10 lead records to me. So I have started working on those leads. Today I'm able to convert 7 lead records. Remaining three lead records I will contact tomorrow over here because I don't have the time today here. So by end of the day, I need to inform to my manager itself over here by sending one email notification. Or else he doesn't know what's going on in the team. Like how many lead records she has assigned, how many lead records I have converted, how many lead records still I haven't contacted, how many lead records still I am working, how many lead records I haven't started working as of now. Then how is my manager should aware of that? As a manager, they will be having the full control on that because they're responsible to that, the sales head also. By end of the day, they have to report into the sales head. So now today we have contacted these many number of people, these many number of leads we have converted as the customers here. So now in this case here, they should be aware of that complete information so that they should have that complete information. So now for that reason here, when coming to the sales manager, as a manager, we should be aware of what's going on in our team. So how many tasks we have planned for today? How many tasks we are able to complete? How many tasks have been escalated? How many tasks we are unable to complete here? How many tasks are in middle? How many tasks we haven't started still? So now everything we need to prepare a report over here. We need to get this whole information. For that reason here, whenever we are going to be working on some requirements, by end of the day, we are sending some email notifications. Suppose if I forgot to send the email notification to my manager, then how my manager will know how many lead records I have converted today? She doesn't know the whole information. Then at that time, she'll make a call in the night at 11 o'clock here. What about the lead records? How many leads you have converted here? But at that time, we may not be able to respond to that calls over here. Okay. So in this kind of situation here, instead of disturbing the people, instead of sending that email notification manually by our own, Salesforce will be giving a functionality that my manager can able to track this whole information over here. That possibility is available, okay, with the help of this role hierarchy. Okay, with the help of role hierarchy. In this case, whenever the sales representative has created a record, then automatically that record will be getting visible to the manager by default over here. No need to make my record, no need to send the email notification to my manager. Automatically, my manager will be having the full control on my records also over here so that he can able to track everything over here. He can track my activities also. He can track what operations I'm doing right now. How many leads I have contacted today. How many leads I have converted. How many leads I haven't still contacted here. Everything they can able to track that information. For that one here, when coming to that Salesforce, they have given a feature called as role hierarchy, where role hierarchy will make the subordinates records to be get visible to the superior by default over here. Whenever the subordinate person has created a record or subordinate person has modified a record, automatically that record will be getting visible to the manager by default over here. Because the manager can able to track everything over here. He can track the complete activities because they have to know what's going on in the team. So for that reason here, Salesforce has given this visibility automatically by default. Generally, in the real world, when coming to the IT organizations, we are sending the email notifications over here. But sometimes, if I forgot to send the email notification because of some hurry work, then at that time, manager will be giving the call to you in the night. They will be disturbing you in the night itself here. But at that time, you can't recollect that whole information. So for that reason here, instead of sending that email notifications manually, we can give the ability to the manager that he can able to track each and every day record also, which you have created. So that here, when coming to that role hierarchy will make the subordinate record to be get visible to that superior by default. This is the major functionality here. That means record level visibility we can able to grant with the help of the role hierarchy. Okay? Clear? Now, make a note over here. Now, by using the role hierarchy, we can make the subordinates records to be get visible to the managers by default. We can make the subordinates records to be get visible to the managers by default. That is, when a sales representative creates a record, then the record will be visible to the manager by default. Then the record will be getting visible to the manager by default. That is, by using role hierarchy, we can grant the record level visibility to the users inside the organization. We can grant the record level visibility to the users inside the organization. We can grant the record level visibility to the users inside the organization. By default, Salesforce provides the role hierarchy, which can be assigned to the users. By default, Salesforce provides the role hierarchy which can be assigned to the users. Then where we can see that role hierarchy which has been given by Salesforce? For that one, go to the navigation, go to the setup menu, go to the administrator menu in the left panel, go to the manage users and click on roles link. Click on roles link in order to see what are the various role hierarchy has been configured by Salesforce by default. So what is the role hierarchy has been configured by Salesforce by default. We can able to list out that role hierarchy by using this navigation. Now, let me show you practically here. So what is the role hierarchy has been given by Salesforce? Let's go to your Salesforce instance. Go to the administrator menu in the left panel. Go to the manage users. Inside that we are having an option called as roles. Click on this roles link and we can able to see the role hierarchy. Click on roles link. Now it is indicating this information here. Like this is the role hierarchy sample they have given to you. Like they have given that CEO. This is a CEO role. Below that CEO role, they're having the 3 people are working directly, like as Western Sales Director, Eastern Sales Director, International Sales Director. These are the 3 people are reporting to the CEO directly, but these 3 people are in the same hierarchy so that these people are called as siblings. Now below this Western Sales Director, we are having one more person is there, Western Sales Representative. Below that Eastern Sales Director, Eastern Sales Representative is there. Below that International Sales Director, International Sales Representative is available here. Now these people are in the same hierarchy over here. Like the parent, and then childs and the grandchilds like that here. You will be having that multiple hierarchies. Okay, like that. For this one, we can able to add some more the subordinates over here. We can able to add some more subordinates here. Like that, we can able to grant the accessibility over here. So now here in this case, when coming to the Salesforce, between the users, we can able to grant this kind of association. So now one user, nothing but one employee should be associated with another employee. This employee should be associated with another employee, like that here. So now user to user, we can able to grant the association. Okay. Now, in this case, here the basic idea has been given by Salesforce here. Now click on Setup Roles button. Now it is indicating by default Salesforce has given that role hierarchy here. Okay, they have given that role hierarchy by default. So initially they have given that company name, that means your organization name as MNC. So now why it is giving that name as MNC? Where I have entered this name? Upon creating my Salesforce account. Okay, upon creating my Salesforce account, I have given my organization name as MNC. Can I change this name in future? Can I change? Yes, where? How can we change? Company profile. Just to go to that company profile, click on some company information. Now you will be having your organization name. Now click on edit button to change this name here. Okay, I'm indicating some forces. Okay, I'm indicating like some forces incorporation here. Now click on save button. Once you click on save, automatically these changes are going to be reflecting inside your role hierarchy also. When you go to that roles, here we can able to see that information. Go to the setup roles. Here you will be having your company name as Forces Incorporation. So at any point of time, we can change your organization name also here. But organization ID, we can't change. Okay, server number, we can't change. Those are fixed options which has been given by Salesforce. Now, so now initially, inside this organization, they have given a role called as CEO. Below that CEO they have given, you will be having like as a tree format over here. Just expand this particular plus symbol. Now we can able to see the remaining roles which has been given by Salesforce by default. Now by default, Salesforce has given a role hierarchy to you where we are having that role as CEO. It is the top level role inside my organization. And below that CEO, we have CFO, COO, Senior Vice President for Customer Service and Support, Senior Vice President for Human Resource, Senior Vice President for the Sales and Marketing. These are the various hierarchies or the roles have been given by Salesforce by default. Now, according to your business requirement, if this role hierarchy is exactly suits, then you can use directly. You can assign these roles to your users inside your organization. But in some cases, if this role hierarchy is not at all suitable for your organization, inside your company, if you're utilizing some different roles, if you're using some different hierarchy, at that time you can customize this hierarchy also. Or else, if this role hierarchy is not at all utilized inside your organization, remove this complete role hierarchy also from your Salesforce instance. That possibility is available over here. Okay. So we can use this role hierarchy as it is, or we can able to customize this role hierarchy according to your business requirement, or else you can remove the complete hierarchy and you can start building your own hierarchy from the scratch. That possibility is available to you here. Okay. All the three options are available to you. Now, in this case here, okay, now here in this case, now for each and every role, they have given that the 4 options to you. Like for this particular role CEO, we are having that option edit. What do you mean by this option edit? What we can do? Suppose inside your company, so if your company's name is like nothing but top level designation is some different. Instead of CEO, if you want to use a different name like some chairman, or founder and the chairman of my organization. At that time, we can change this name also by using this edit option over here. Okay. Next, if this role is not at all required, then you can remove this role from your organization by using this delete option. If you want to assign this role to a specific user or to the multiple users, then use that assign link. Okay, assign link is used to assigning this role to that user. And then in this case here, so now assign option is used to assign this role to the users. Delete option is used to remove this role from your organization, and edit option is used to modify this role name over here. Next, we are having add role. That means what? Below the CEO, along with the CFO, COO, SVP, and these roles, if you want to add one more role, then you can able to add that role also by using this add role link. That means according to your business requirement, we can able to create your own role hierarchy also. If this existing role hierarchy is suitable, then you can assign these roles to your users directly, or else we can do that required corrections or the customizations. You can able to use that, or else you can remove the complete role hierarchy and start building your own role hierarchy from the scratch also. That possibility is there here. Okay? Clear? Now. So now here in this case, here, now make a note of this one. We can configure our own role hierarchy based on the business requirement. We can configure our own role hierarchy based on the business requirement. We can configure our own role hierarchy based on the business requirement. And we can assign the roles to the users. And we can assign the roles to the users. Which one? Now, whenever you are making the changes inside your user level, that will be impacting in the user record only here. If you are changing inside that company profile level, then that will be reflecting in all the places in the entire organization. Inside the roles also it will be impacting over here. Okay, in the users also it will be impacting automatically. If you are creating the Salesforce account, if you did not provided that company name, it won't allow, because all the fields are mandatory upon creating the Salesforce account. Account in the sense where? Now, whenever you are creating the Salesforce account, you will be having a registration form, right? There we are entering that company name. Okay, that company name will be reflecting over here. Okay. Now, so now here, I would like to configure a role hierarchy. Inside my organization, I'm having 5 users are available right now. Like 2 Salesforce licensed users, 3 platform licensed users. So, for each and every user, I would like to assign a role. Then how can we assign? Now let's see practically over here. Okay. Now for that one, I would like to configure the role hierarchy. Like, I would like to have a CEO role first. Below that CEO, I would like to have the COO role. And then I would like to have CFO. And I would like to have CTO. Below this CTO, I would like to have the vice president role over here. These are the roles I would like to have inside my organization. Because I'm having 5 users are there, for each and every user, I would like to assign a role. Okay? Now, then where all these roles information will be getting resides over here? All the roles information will be getting resides inside an object called as user role object here. Okay, all the roles information will be getting resides inside the user role object here. Now, make a note here. All the roles information will get resides inside the user role object. User role object. A role can be assigned to one or more users, that is, role to user, we have one-to-many association. And a user should have only one role associated with him. Okay. So now user to role we are having one-to-one, role to user we are having one-to-many association. Done? Now, then how to set up this role hierarchy as part of my business? Now let's see practically in this case here. Let me configure the role hierarchy. First of all, I need CEO, and then COO, and then CFO, and then CTO. Below that, I would like to have vice president role. This is the role hierarchy I would like to set up right now inside my organization. Now, let's go to your Salesforce instance. We are having the CEO role, CFO role, COO role. Up to this is fine. And then along with that, what I want CTO role. Below that CTO, I want a vice president role is also required for me here. Then what we can do? How can we add a new role over here? So now go to that CEO. Below that CEO, we need to add one more role here. Below that CEO, we need to add one more role that is called as CTO. So that here as of now, below that CEO, we are having CFO is there, COO is there. Now I would like to add one more role that is called as CTO. So that go to that CEO, below that we are having an option called as add role link. Click on this add role link in order to add a new role over here. I'm giving that role label as CTO. So now inside that the reports also I want to display the same name over here, CTO. Now this role is reporting to whom? This role reports to whom? To that CEO again here. Okay. Now click on save button. So now this role has been created successfully over here. Now let's go to the role hierarchy again. Now we are having that CFO, COO, and the CTO. Three roles are available here below this CEO. And along with that, we want one more role here. What is that? Vice president. This role is reporting to whom? To that CTO only here. So now go to the CTO role, and here you will be having an option called as add role. Okay, click on this add role to add one more subordinate role for this CTO. Click on this add role link, specify that label. Vice President, I would like to give that inside the report also. I would like to display like as that same. Now click on save. So now we have created that roles also. Whatever the two roles are required for me right now, we have configured that roles over here. Let's see. Below that CTO, we are having that role called as Vice President. We have all the roles: CEO, CFO, COO, CTO, and then Vice President here, which is reporting to the CTO itself. Okay. So now here I'm having that all the roles are available right now with me here. Once the role hierarchy has been getting configured, how can we assign the roles to the users now? Now tell me how many ways are available in Salesforce to assign the role to the user. How many ways are there in Salesforce to assign a role to the user? Upon creating the user record, there is a field is available called as role field. Okay. So now we are entering the details of the user. Along with that, we are going to be selecting the license. Which license you want to assign, which profile you want to assign, you want to make that user inactive or not. On top of that license field, we'll be having a field called as role field. Okay, role field. There we can able to select that here. Okay. Now that is one way. Second way. Now from role side here also. Okay. From role side, we can able to select that, go to that role and click on this assign link to assign that role to the users here. Now let me show you both the ways over here. How to assign the roles to the users from the user side. Then what is the problem with that one? How to assign the roles to the users from role side. Then what is the benefit over here? Both the ways we'll see now. Okay. Now. So in this case here, whatever the roles we have configured, I would like to assign these roles to my users. Okay. I would like to assign these roles to the users here. How can we assign now? Let's see. CEO is the top level person over here. So I want to assign these roles to my users here. This role I would like to assign to that training batch user. Because training batch user is the Salesforce administrator. That means system administrator here. He is the top level person. Next. COO role I would like to assign to the manager user. CFO role I would like to assign to that customer user. CTO role I would like to assign to the development user. Vice President role I would like to assign to that testing user. We have 5 users and then we have 5 roles. I'm assigning these roles to these users here. Okay. So now these roles I would like to assign to these users here. CEO role I would like to assign to the training batch user. And the COO role to the manager user, CFO role to the customer user, CTO role to the development user, Vice President role to the testing user here. These are the roles I would like to assign to that users inside my organization now. Then how to assign these roles to the users from user side? Now let's see practically first. And then we'll come back to that role side also here. Okay. Understood this one? Now. So now currently, for which user, which role we have assigned, how do we know? In this case, just to go to the users, inside this users table, you will be having a column is available here. There is a column called as role column. That means which role you have assigned to this user here. But as of now, we haven't assigned any role so that this particular column is empty. Now what I want to do, for the training batch user, I would like to assign the CEO role over here. How can we assign? So just to go to that user record, click on this user. The user is available here. Now we are having this role field. Now click on this edit button. Go to the role field. Even though the field is looking like as mandatory, but upon creating the user record, role is not a mandatory field over here. Okay, role is not a mandatory field. It's an optional. As of now, we don't know what is role, how to assign. We don't know. But just now we are discussing that roles information. So now go to that roles, select the role which you would like to assign. Whatever the roles are available inside your Salesforce instance, inside the user role object, all the roles information will be getting collected. Those will be populating inside your pick list field. From this one, select the role which you would like to assign to the users. Now this role, CEO role, I would like to assign to the training batch user. So for this user, I'm selecting the role as CEO. Once you click on the save button, the role will be getting assigned to the user here. Okay, the role will be getting assigned to the user here. Now, in this case, once you go to that users, we can see for this training batch user, we have assigned the role as CEO. Okay, now, next one, the second role here, manager user. For this user, which role you want to assign? COO role here. Let's go to that manager user here. This is a manager user that we have right now. Okay. Now, click on edit link. Select the role as COO. COO role I'm selecting here. Now click on save button. Now for the second user, we have assigned the role here. Now, in this case, I'm having 1,000 users are there to whom I would like to change the role. Then what we can do? Each and every record we have to modify separately, right? Like for example, inside my company, I'm having some 3,000 people are there. From these 3,000 people, 1,000 people are working since almost 2 years. Okay, those people are the freshers. Okay, 2 years back, they have joined into my company as freshers. And then during that time, we have given the designation as junior developers. Okay, junior developers or associated consultant, whatever the designation. Since 2 years, they are working very hard. So they have completed 2 years inside my company. Now this is appraisal time. Now in this appraisal time, for all these 1,000 people, I'm giving the promotion. I'm promoting these people from associated consultant to consultant designation here. Then what needs to be done? We have to open each and every employee record, go to the designation field, change that value from associated consultant to consultant over here. Each and every employee record we have to open up to all the 1,000 people, and we have to change the designation. If I'm changing record by record, will it take more time or not? Yes. In this case here, what we can do? How can we assign the same role to the multiple users in one shot? In this case, whenever we are assigning the roles to the users, so now from the user side also we can assign. But the problem is what? Each and every user record we have to open separately, we have to assign the role over here. In this case, the number of records are more, then at that time it is a time-consuming process. It will take more time. To avoid this kind of problems here, instead of assigning the role to the users, okay, from the user side, I would like to go from that role side over here. Okay, I would like to assign from role side. Simply go to that roles. Click on setup roles. Then how can we assign the roles to the users here now? By using that assign option here. Click on assign link. Now which role you want to assign now? CFO role I want to assign to whom? Customer user here. Go to the CFO role. Click on assign link. Now, to whom you want to assign? To the customer user here. Along with that, if you want to assign this role to the other people also, select the users here all. That means what? The role we are assigning to that multiple users in one shot over here. But this kind of possibility is not available when coming to the user side. From user side also we can able to assign the roles, but there we need to assign the role for every user one by one. But here, one role we can assign to multiple users in one shot. That possibility is there here. So now here in this case, I want to assign this CFO role to that customer user only. Select that customer user, click on save. Next one, CTO user. I want to assign this user to a role to that development user here. Click on save. And the third one, next one, vice president role. I would like to assign to that testing user here. Select that testing user. Now click on save. This is how we are going to be assigning the roles to the users. Once the role hierarchy has been getting configured, we can assign the roles upon creating the user record or from the role side also. If I am assigning the role to the user from user side, then for each and every user record, we have to assign the role separately, record by record. But if the number of records are more, it will take more time. It is a time-consuming process. To avoid this kind of problems here, we are going to be coming from the role side. So now from the role side also, we can assign a single role to the multiple users in one shot. so that we can save the time also over here. That possibility is available. Okay. Now, so in this case, once you go to that user's records here, go to the user records, you will be having the roles are available here. Now for the training batch user, CEO role, customer user, CFO, development user, CTO, manager user, COO, testing user, vice president. These are the various roles we have assigned to that users here. Okay. This is how we are going to be configuring the role hierarchy, and then we can able to assign that roles to your users also. Okay. Clear? Now, in this case, always for one user, how many profiles we can assign? For one user, how many profiles? One. How many licenses? One. How many roles? One. So that a user should be always associated with only one profile, only one license, only one role, not multiple. Okay? Clear? Now. So this is the concept of role hierarchy. So once the role has been getting assigned, then what is the benefit over here? That already we have discussed. Whenever we are configuring the role hierarchy from there onwards, if the subordinate person has created a record, that record will be getting visible to the manager by default over here. Then how can we track this information? And then what will be the drawbacks over here? How to avoid those drawbacks? We'll see in the tomorrow session here. In tomorrow's session, we are going to be discussing about a most important feature called as OWD. Okay, organization-wide defaults. Okay, now organization-wide defaults. Then what exactly the organization-wide defaults? What is the use and what options are available? How to assign these options to that objects? We'll see practically in tomorrow's session. Okay, tomorrow's session is a very, very important topic for our security concepts here. Okay.